All right, everyone, we are recording. Yay! We're here on the Women Creating Wealth call with Nikken. And it is the 6th of June already. I can't believe how fast every day is going by. It's whizzing by, and we're all busy prospecting and sponsoring. I know that. And today, I'm really excited because we have 3 beautiful women who all won the Team Kaizen contest of last year. And they all went to Japan, and we're going to hear from them. And I'm so excited about that. And then they'll talk a little bit about going platinum and moving forward to go to Italy for next year. So we're going to start with Nancy Claremont-Carr. Nancy is a wonderful goal consultant. We love her dearly. And Nancy, I know you've taken time out of your meeting to be on with us today, so thank you so much. And so I first want to just say welcome and tell us the news. How is Japan?
Oh, it's hard to come back down, to be honest, because every time I run into somebody, they ask about it, and then I just get to share it all over again. But the things you would expect of just a fantastic country who's organized, clean, punctual, with so much history. And the people are friendly and all those things that were just delightful to be among, right? Those people were fabulous. We had a great guide. And so the trip itself was kind of beyond description. First class everything, as Nikken would do. Worth working for. I will say that. It was worth working for. Mm-hmm. And I want to say that the reason I actually achieved it, I had such a big why that it got me there. And I had a girlfriend in Nikken who since passed away, but we worked together for the first trip to Japan, and she got it and I didn't. And I said, there is no way I'm not going to do it this time. And so that is actually what drove me this last time. And so, we talk about the why in our business, and that was so huge for me. So I just kind of wanted to remind people that is really important still for all the stuff. I apologize for the noise. I'm in a shopping mall. Stepped out of the restaurant. But anyway, so I found the things that were thrilling for me, the integration of the different cultures of the people on the bus, like Nikki from the UK and the couple from Germany, fantastic, Alex and Ricarda. And then there was a French couple, and so learning from them, we were on the bus together a lot. That was so really special. And then, of course, our 70-plus Latin American friends. So that was really cool. Just the integration of different social customs and how we dealt with the celebration and all the selfies that the Latins did. And just the really fun things. But comparing cultures constantly, I can't even describe it. I'm sure the other 2 will talk about that. But so the trip itself was just delightful in every city and things you would expect. First class treatment with the first class culture. It was really, really wonderful. And Kurt and his wife Susan were so hospitable. Oh my gosh. And Jeff Isom was the guide of the century until he was available, and make me now. I'm putting my plan together for Italy and really focusing on what do I need and setting my intention, and just knowing that it's going to happen. And so that's really where I'm at right now. Is I don't want to miss it again. I don't want to miss it next year. It was so rewarding this year, and being with Kimball and Jeff and Nikki and John and these people who worked hard to go there. It's really something special. It really is. So
Nancy, did you get a chance while you were with all these people to talk about also their business strategies and how they had won Team Kaizen and what their projections were for the future for their businesses?
A little bit. We really didn't talk a lot about business. It really was a big celebration. Yeah. But a little bit. I have to say, we did talk a little in different groups. And the Latin Americans do things very differently. And I was talking to Jeff about the flow of what's going on there. And he said, well, it was sort of like the 90s for us. That's kind of the way they're moving forward right now. And so good for them, right? That they have this flow going. but there's no reason we can't recreate it again. That's the way I feel. And so we discussed a little bit about how we might do that, and it's not that different really than what we know we're supposed to do to create movement and motion and energy. And one other thing I just want to point out is Mike DiMuccio had a great call the other night, and he had a fellow on there, Andrew Boost, who reminded everybody that it's about the activity. It's not about worrying about the outcome of the decision in the meeting.
Yeah.
And I think when we can focus and set our intentions on those activities, it reminds me that's what it's about. And that helps remove the resistance, I think. And it helps remove the fear a lot.
Yes.
So whatever one needs to do to bring that back in focus. What do I need to do today and tomorrow? And how many times do I need to repeat that?
Yes.
And then figuring out a way for the, contacting, inviting. So that's really what I'm working on right now is my little plan to make that happen.
That's
so
great.
I guess if you have any other questions, that's kind of what I wanted to deliver is that's the focus for me.
That's beautiful. And I think it's a big plan, right? Because you'll need to go platinum to be able
to
see, right?
Exactly. Yes. Platinum and hold. So that's a big, a big effort. Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you for inviting me on and to let me share that. It was just a wonderful trip and I'm so grateful.
Yes, I'm so grateful you took your time out for us. Thank you so much, Nancy. We all love you so much. And let's all get together at Think Tank, mind meld and see you as platinum and going to Italy. And anything.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Talk to you guys later.
All right.
Blessings to you all.
Many blessings to you. Thank you so much. Okay, super. We're going to go to Kimball Sargent, a beautiful gold consultant, bright and glorious there in the sunshine. Kimball,
yes.
You're also a fountain of energy, just like Nancy just was and is, and we love hearing from you. So, Kimball, tell us your takeaways from Japan. How was it?
Well, Japan was wonderful, and Mr. Foley did such a wonderful job of rewarding us for the work we did, and we really felt appreciated. And I loved the culture and the people in Japan. It was just a fabulous trip. I'd never been to Asia, and so it was just something that I really wanted to do. And it was wonderful being around all the people. And I might have done a little bit more picking of brains than Nancy did, because when they announced this trip in January of 2017, I'd never been to Asia, and I knew that I wanted to go. Yeah. And so I started working on it and on the idea of breaking the 4 silvers. But I have a goal in that I want to basically shut my practice down. And so I'm building my business, and I wanted to know from all of these wonderful people. And I really focused a lot on the women from Latin America, because they are moving and shaking things. And it was so interesting because they are very much into empowering women. And the first night that we were there, I got a chance to talk to Luis Gustava from Mexico. And he said, and this is the takeaway, was that everything that you do when you talk with your team or whoever is, what do you want to be? What do you want to have? And what are you going to do to get there? And so every day, that is such a good way. And I'm thinking with this, and I'm using it in my stuff. And every time that we do an event, he said, the first thing is to have fun. And, people want to have fun. If this is just drudgery, even if people in Latin America, one woman was telling me that they do a call every week, and they say, play to learn. Because people want to play. And when we're in our playful selves, that's how we learn best. So number 1, Lewis says they go for play. And then there's training. So you're going to be giving information. And then there's recognition, recognizing people for everything. And particularly women are very into being recognized, because so often we haven't been.
Yeah.
And then he shares information. And, oh gosh, I'm going to forget the last information and motivation. And everything that they do, they have all of those elements in. And I learned, there was one of the things that I'm very interested, because I would like to work with young women who are wanting to be entrepreneurs and have kids, because I became an entrepreneur because I had twins and I wanted to have more control in my life. I mean, the business I went into was buying an H&R Block franchise, which was not my passion, but it was a business that I knew and could get in, but it was so I could have my children. So one of the things that one of the women told me is that they do a meeting at 8 o'clock at night, because the mothers have gotten their children ready for bed. They can turn them over to the dads, and they all go over to a woman's house and they have a meeting. And I never thought about having a meeting at 8 o'clock at night, because, well, that's too late or whatever. But for moms that have gotten their kids about to bed, that's a great time for them to get together and unwind.
Yes.
And I connected with two women there, and they're using Facebook much more than we are. One of the women said she lives about 3 hours south of our border. She says, I hardly have anybody in my hometown because I'm doing all my business on Facebook, and I've got people all over Mexico. So I connected with two women there that I want to keep in contact, and we want to do some sharing and growing together. And I came home just thinking, okay, so if I want to do really well in the Latin market here, so I've already put a water system in a Mexican restaurant with some people that I know. And I've been getting a lot of nice leads and all from there. But now I went in and I put a fish bowl in, and people put either, there's a little form they fill out that, I love drinking good water. I buy bottled water. I'd like to have the best water cheaper. And they do yes or no's to that. And then I'd like to make more money. My dream job would be, and then they give their information. Each week, I'm going to take somebody to lunch and talk with them about what we have to offer and what they like. And I'll already have some ideas what they're interested in. But I want to get in the Latin market. I mean, I love the Latin culture. They're very family-oriented. They are probably the most family-oriented culture that there is. They love to have fun, and they have appreciation for holistic health that a lot of the other people don't.
Yeah.
So, Japan was wonderful, but I came back totally energized and, with the idea of manifesting this trip to Italy. But I have a goal in that I want to have more people on my team than anybody else that goes to Italy. I want to have team members there. And I'm going to have to say that last year when I decided to do this, I remember years ago hearing you say, win all the incentives. I mean, you're my role model, Julie. You said you can do it, and it's so fun, and it's not about being in competition. These are really challenging that Nikken give. It's not a competition. It's not we have to beat anyone out. Nikken will be happy to take us all. All we've got to do is share this wonderful opportunity and these one-of-a-kind products, and we're there.
Yeah, absolutely, Kimball. And you are there, and you will be there. Again, I just know it, and you will have a team there. For sure you will. You're just got a heart of gold. You've got great business savvy. I love your tips that you just gave us. Nice, solid tips to work with. That's great. I'm thinking of the Mexican restaurant just down the road. So I'm on it.
Yep.
Thank you, Kimball. I'm looking at our time. And is there anything else that you would want to share from the trip?
Well, it was wonderful getting time to get to know Mr. Foley and his wife better, and being with all the people, Sherry Danzig, Michelle, Nancy, Mike. It was really a great time to build camaraderie, and it just it just reinforces the wonderful people that are in Nikken and the family that we have here.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And, just thank you for mentioning Sherry. We would have had Sherry on this call, but she can't do this time that we have because she has a lunch commitment on this date and this time. So unfortunately she couldn't be on, but otherwise we would have had her on to share her experiences too. But I'm so glad that you went. I'm so proud of you. You're just an amazing role model, Kimball, and everybody loves you. Anything we can all do to help you nail your next goal, we'll do it. We're on your team. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely, sweetheart. Thank you so, so much. And I'll move over now to Nikki Edgell from the UK. So, Nikki, are you there?
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Nikki. How are you?
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
I'm just about stopped nodding to everybody.
It was fun.
Oh, God, it was just amazing. I mean, the pure luxury of the trip was mind-blowing. I mean, we were spoiled rotten. We had gifts in every hotel room. We had the most incredible experiences. I mean, bathing in hot natural springs, lounging around in kimonos, eating like 10-course meals, not having to make a decision for a whole 8 days. I mean, that alone really was something that, on a personal level, I mean, God, it was just so liberating. You know, when else in our lives do we never have to make a decision? Yeah. Show up to the bus at this time, eat this food that's put in front of you, get taken to this venue, do this. Yeah. It was such a tonic, just that alone. Yes. So from it's like everybody said already, it's just so worth winning. And again, on a personal level, to be feeling like you are valued to that extent, to really feel and to be made to feel that you deserved it. I found that a slight challenge, and John, to receive that initially. That's like, oh my goodness, and this, and this, and more, and more. Just was like, it was overwhelming at times, actually. They really went to such lengths to look after us and to immerse us in this incredible place. And I'd never really dreamt to go to Japan, actually. I've travelled extensively in Asia, and unlike Kimball, I just wasn't really on my radar. But, once it was one, I went in for the incentive. John and I went for the incentive because we knew it was good for our business. It was the right activity to build our business. And it's just a lovely side effect for us. Yeah. And actually we're very fortunate. We feel really blessed that we've managed to be there last year and this year, in Mexico last year and now in Japan. And actually those connections that you make with the other people that are on the trip, and some of those people also were there last year, and it was like, oh, friends, here we are. It was so lovely, and to reconnect with the people that we'd made friendships with last year. They're more solid, deeper, and already since I've been back, I had it like Kimball. I've got I had it last year because we spoke to the Mexicans last year, and it's been renewed now, my absolute determination to build a team in Latin America. We have an amazing girl that we've been talking to for a whole year, and sometimes it's like that, isn't it? Timing and planting the seeds, and it's not happening for whatever reason, but I've actually had a meeting with her already on Skype, and on tomorrow I shall be having a conference call with one of the Royal Diamonds from Mexico, who I've made friends with, and she's going to support me in bringing on into the team this lovely friend in Mexico City. So, those are the gold things that you can't, it's very hard to make friendships like, on the internet. You can, but just, to have those hugs and, and the eye contact and the, you feel each other in a different way. And, like Kimball was saying, the Nikken family, well, you feel it really strongly. Yes. And the other thing I wanted to say about Japan, which I hadn't imagined, was just the culture and being immersed in the roots of Nikken. So it really dawned on me throughout the trip, this is where Nikken has come from. I understood much more deeply why they wanted to make this business model, why, this connection, this family, this reverence of each other and collaboration and just respect and, and being positive and being immersed in that for a week really made me connect with my why a lot more, and my purpose, and why I'm with Nikken as opposed to any other company. So that was really, really good. So that cultural immersion in positivity for a week was golden as well, and it was a great tonic for me. I really needed it.
You look fantastic, Nikki. So refreshed and so. Speaking of golden, I think you went to the Golden Temple, didn't you?
Oh, we did, and I was thinking I'm boring people with all my photos. I could have posted hundreds more. It was wonderful to share. Oh wow! And here we are. Yeah, and you know, also from a business point of view, you know, one of the Mexican girls, she came along because in Mexico they have a different incentive system, and her mother had won 2 places, not just one, and so she was being brought along with her mother as a treat.
Oh.
And while she was there, I was just chatting to her, waiting for the bus after lunch, and she said, I have never really thought to do this business, but after this week, I've decided I'm joining.
Oh.
And it just reinforced that big decisions are made at big events. And it's not just the events that we have for consultants, the big conferences, it's the incentive weeks as well that can really land much bigger, deeper decisions. So that was a bit, and I messaged one of my teammates immediately saying, make sure when you go to Orlando, you take one of your team at least. A big decision.
Yeah.
So yeah, reconnecting with purpose. And the other thing was, you know, like Kimball said, you know, making friendships with people and learning from, you know, little tips here and there, and just having that reinforcement that you're doing all the right things. You just need to do more of it. There's no magic bullet. There's no recipe for it. You know, just having that confidence rephrased, said again in a different way, and that, you know, that constant connection with intention, all the things that we know, but just hearing it from different people in slightly different ways, it just helps to support you when it's maybe not going so well, or, you know, when you're having a wobble or whatever. And you just, like, so I have come back very much more reconnected and excited. And, you know, I've heard a few really desperate things, like we are one of the first towns within months to be getting the 5G here in Brighton, and it's horrifying. And so I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I really have to tell people about our sleep system. There's more urgency than ever. That
5G is very, very significant. I hope everybody sees on, you know, I do quite a bit of posting on that on Facebook, and it's very, very important to educate people about how to support their own energy system in the face of that, because that's high level radiation. It's scary stuff. So
yeah, they're chopping down all the trees in England because it's interfering with the signals, and it's just, it's sad, but let's not focus on that. The other thing I wanted to say lastly was kind of just be the leader, like just be the inspiration for people that you're bringing into the team and for your team already. You know, I saw that over and over there with all of those. You know, they do have fun for sure, and they love their selfies. And sometimes that was a bit, you know, for us British, there were only 2 of us, John and I, or us Europeans, it was a bit like, oh, okay. But, you know, the energy was very exciting as well. So it was, yeah, very, very good to see that fun side, and that business can be like that.
Yes, and should be like that. Should be fun. And how many people are having fun out there, you know, trading their time for money 9 to 5 and not having much fun doing it, working with people they don't like. And we're blessed to work with people that we love, that not just like, but love, and really have fun and be exuberant and let life move through us, you know, be an expression of life to others. Vibrancy. I mean, all 3 of you are so vibrant, and I think everyone on this call can feel it. Just that excitement, the exuberance. And I know, being British too, that sometimes that's difficult because we've been taught to put a lid on it, but we shouldn't. It's like we are here and we have a mission to fulfill in our lifetime on this planet. And time is very valuable, and time goes quick. And we want to use our time for focusing on that mission of really expressing love and light to others, and letting them know how to stay healthy and vibrant in the midst of a crazy world of chemicals and 5G and everything else, and create a business that can give them time to do all the other lovely things they want to do. So it's really a potent mix. And you 3 are very potent on this call, and I'm just so thrilled about having you on. And it's funny because we had something totally different that we were going to be doing, and then it was Barbara that said, and, you know, of course we were seeing all your photos, And then Barbara and I were chatting, and then she was like, well, let's ask them to come on. I was like, oh, that's brilliant. And I'm thinking, oh, you're probably just getting back into the swing of things at home, leave you alone. But I'm so glad, Barbara, that you said that, because, you know, it's just been so much fun to have you on and to really hear the things that you got out of this. Because I know from all the trips I've done myself to, you know, it's very powerful, especially Japan. I think was very powerful to me, having worked in energy medicine with Japanese ideas for 37 years or whatever it is now. You know, I love that trip to Japan. It was very meaningful. And I know how you get wined and dined, and it's really, really fun. But it's the associations that are so key. The connection, the friendship, the love, that glue, that's like divine glue. And that glue is what we all need. That every one of us needs that, because it can be isolating. We do get wobbles. Everybody does. We'd be not human if we didn't. So I think that is the quintessential essence of it, is that divine glue. You know, we're in this together. We're not alone. You're not alone. I'm not alone. It's very important that we all feel that. And that's one of the purposes for this call too, to focus with women, as Kimball was saying, with, you know, with the Spanish market, Hispanic market, that, you know, women, we do struggle with self-worth. How much can I receive? You know, like you said, how much, oh, more and more, you know, and Nikken's overwhelming for that. And, you know, we see it financially too. I mean, you know, and you're making checks of, you know, just, you know, 20,000 a month, but you're going, how can I receive this? But it's a real practice in knowing that you're worthy. Yes. And you are worthy. You're absolutely worthy. And so are you, and you, and you, and me. And so to help each other with that as women. And that's why one of the reasons I love this call, because it's important that we support each other in that knowing, and that you know how to do this intrinsically, because you know how to love. And that's really what it is. It's love. And everyone knows that, because you are that. We are that. So it's very beautiful. And you are just shining, Nikki. I am so happy for you, and so happy to help you, you know, get to Italy and do all that. So
there's nothing like karaoke that bonds people.
I bet. Especially when Mike Demuccio's up there.
Or me in my terrible rendition with Cherry on the bus. Have you got a friend? I'm not sure they knew how to cope with us British.
Love it. Oh, Brits rock.
Yeah.
All right, my darling. Well, thank you so much for being on. Thank you all for being on. It's such a pleasure. And our next call is at the end of this month. And we're going to be working with Carolyn Trotter and some others about kids. So we're going to do a special one on kids. So if you have thoughts about that, or you want to be a part of that, about kids, specifically your kids or kids you've known that have had real transformations with the technologies, we are all about our kids on the planet, and we need to help them, especially with 5G coming in. So that's our next call at the end of the month, and then we'll go on from there. So let's rock and roll all together this month of June, and much love to everybody. Thank you again to you three wonderful Team Kaizen winners. We are very proud of you, and we anticipate that you will win the next trip for sure. So, all right, everybody, much love, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye for now. Bye, everyone. Love you.